All right. Hi, my name is Shane. I use she and her pronouns. This is the third session of our game of Fate of the Faerie Queen, a reskin of Fate of Cthulhu from Evil Hat Games. This session, the series, was organised as part of the Gauntlet gaming calendar. If you're not familiar with the Gauntlet, it's an online community that plays and discusses a whole lot of role-playing games, especially Indian story games. And if you'd like to find out more or come play a game with us, check out gauntlet-rpg.com or at gauntletrpg on Twitter. One of our regular players, Lowell, couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. So I'll ask the other players to introduce yourselves and your characters, both yourself and your character, just name, pronouns, and anything that you would like to tell us. So Matt, can I get you to go first?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to switch my video off so I can have breakfast while we do this. Sorry.
Sounds good. No problem. My name is Matt. I use any pronouns. Today I will be playing Bear, also known as Shanad, the name his mother gave him, who is a time-traveling freedom fighter. He spent a very long time on the front lines in his homelands, defending it from the Fey incursion, the threat that had been growing over a decade until the Earth was destroyed, nearly. And he saw most of his comrades in arms fall and experienced a lot of hardship, but he has a strong spirit and the love of his family, and he is a little bit in over his head in New York generally, in this timeline, and also in our current situation. He is used to a lot of smack talk, tavern brawls, that kind of thing. I don't think he's dealt with that much organized crime of the human sort or the fey-aligned masquerading as human sort. We still don't know all this stuff, but looking forward to finding out how that goes for him. That's me.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say you roll pretty well in over your head, although maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out, I guess. Kyle, do you want to introduce yourself and Maeve?
Yes, I'm Kyle, he, they. I'm playing Maeve, she, her. She's a changeling who was sent by the Fae to spy on humans. She defected, switched sides, and is now trying to avert the apocalypse.
Excellent. And Jose?
Hi, my name is Jose, and my pronouns are he and him, and I'm playing Dr. Alonso Cifuentes, known as Dr. C to those who know him well. And he is a psychiatrist living in present-day New York who's suddenly been fallen upon by this group of intrepid time travelers who claim to know his future self. And so he's joined them in the quest to purge the timeline of the Fairy Queen's influence and see if we can avert the apocalypse. And yeah, I'll stop there.
All right, beautiful. So just a couple of things that I wanted to mention before we really get going. So one is we're using a set of safety tools for the game. So if you need to check, we've got our lines and veils in the safety and resources tab. And we're also using the X card in the open door if you need to use either of those. The other thing is, like a couple of you mentioned in our Stars and Wishes last week that you'd like to see us make some more time for kind of relationships and role play and that side of the game. I will look for opportunities to make space for that, but I also encourage you, like, if I'm kind of gunning the plot, don't be shy about just interrupting and slowing things down and letting that play out. I will be very happy to see the game go that direction. So just to briefly recap where we're at, your first goal in trying to prevent the rise of the Fairy Queen is to figure out what's going on with a Russian gangster named Alexander Koschei, perhaps the infamous enforcer from the future, Koschei the Deathless. He has been working on this strange construction site in the Catskills, an old abandoned you say, hotel resort, holiday resort, that he is turning into ostensibly a charitable clinic where the indigent will spend the end of their lives in comfort and luxury. But what you've learned is that at least by night, a strange gingerbread construction tended by these shadowy witches appears in the middle of this resort. The frozen lake nearby is also full of, apparently human women who you have learned were once seals before Koschei stole their skin, and is using them to dispose of the bodies of his enemies. And you also found, or at least may have found, a head in a box. It has no mouth, but appears to be alive and in a significant amount of distress. And Maeve has brought that back to the bar where Shanad and Dr. C and Fadim, but Fadim, I think we'll just hand wave this away. It's a Fae adventure. All kinds of strange things have happened. Who knows where Fadim is right now? Have encountered these two goons who want to force you to come at gunpoint to see their boss. Where we're going to pick up is like right in that scene. Unfortunately for you, Fadim is especially good at starting fights and isn't here for that action right now. However, Maeve coming in, like that sound of the door swinging open, definitely like their attention is taken off you for a moment. So if you do want to try and take them out physically, there is a bit of an opening right there. So, Bear, why don't we start with you? What are you going to do?
Oh, geez. I was counting on the a different timeline, which, fickle those timelines.
Yeah.
Shucks. Well, now I'm definitely hopelessly outmatched.
I don't know. These are just two like low-level goons. They might have guns, but I don't know about a hopelessly outmatched.
That's true. We are heroes.
Heroes. All right. Well, it looks like you hesitate for a moment. Dr. C, what do you do?
You hesitate.
Let's see.
And the other thing I should mention is just to return your fate points to your refresh value if you haven't already at the start of each session.
Mm-hmm. So, just to remind me, Maeve is not with us just yet, right?
Maeve's just walked in the door.
Maeve has just walked in the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. If I wanted to throw my coffee at in one of their faces, would that be a fight move?
Yeah.
Or a shoot move? Or
I guess your options are you could treat it as a fight move if you want to attack with it. If you want to use it to create an advantage like blinded, then you might be able to do that using athletics, I think.
Okay, why don't I do that? I'll try to create an advantage by throwing my hot coffee in the face of the goon, one of the goons anyways. I don't think I can target both of them. Okay, then I would roll with athletics. I think I have the coffee for your face, and that's going to be a 2.
So they're going to roll. This guy's going to roll to get out of the way.
Okay.
He's rolled a 0. I don't think he's going to spend any fate points on this. So you create an advantage. Are we just going to call it coffee in the face?
Oh, I don't even roll?
Oh, sorry. I thought my mistake. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, should I roll? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I was looking at the roll from last week and thinking by mistake that was yours.
Well, you can let me roll and then you can make a decision about whether you want to spend fate points or anything like that. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's a 5.
Yeah, yeah, that's a success with style. So you're going to get the aspect coffee in the face with 2 free invokes on it.
Okay.
He would need a lot of fate points he would need to burn a lot of his fate points to get up to that. So I think he'll pass. All right, and so we're in a conflict now. So the initiative system is that you choose who's going to go next.
Okay. Why don't I choose pass it to Maeve?
Cool. Maeve, you can see something is going on here. These guys look like trouble. There's coffee in their face already.
I pull out my gun and start shooting.
All right. The bartender just like ducks down under the bar, maybe starts crawling for the back door. Go ahead and roll to attack with shoot.
I got a 3.
Nice. So the first guy will roll to defend. So that will do 2 shifts of damage. That will be enough to take him out. Do you want to tell me about how he's taken out? Do you kill him? Do you knock him? Is he bleeding out? Is he just, you've taken out his leg and he can't do anything? What's happened?
I think Maeve goes for the kill right away.
All right. Headshot?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So there is 1 goon left. Do you want to pass the initiative to the goon or straight to Bear?
Let's give it to Bear.
All right. So Bear, what will you do?
Is this the guy with coffee in his eyes is remaining?
Yeah, I think that the Dr. C rolled well enough that the coffee just went everywhere. They're both, that advantage is available for you if you need it.
All right. I think I'll just grapple this remaining guy.
Okay.
Get him in a bear hug and
Okay.
maybe drag him. We can drag him out of the establishment if things go okay.
Yeah, so I reckon just roll an attack with athletics for that. Oh wait, I think fight probably makes more sense, right? Fight is for hand-to-hand attacks.
Yeah, I guess I'm brawling.
Yeah.
All right. Nope, that's not it.
Oh, wow.
Those are 6-sided dice. Altogether, that's a wild roll. 4 twos. But that's just a little bit of fun on the side. That's also a wild roll.
So you get a good grip on him. You have these 2 free invokes that just nobody's needing because you're rolling so well. I don't even think. Well, let's see how he rolls. Maybe he can have some luck as well. He is very motivated not to get. So he's 6 shifts away from even tying you. That would be all of my fate points for this scene just to get to a tie. So he will grudgingly struggle, but then just sort of slump in your arms, resignedly. What do you do?
You've made a mistake, my friend. And I think tip my hat to the bartender and say,
Bartender is gone. He did not stick around once Maeve pulled the gun.
I think I just say into the air, sorry about the mess. We'll be going. And I nudge Dr. C and tell him to grab the body on the ground. I think we can't just leave these people here.
Bodies.
Yeah.
Well,
we can take them back to our room.
Well, the room is over the bar, right? So you could do that. You do have the problem that you don't have a car, so I'm not sure really what your plan is for this guy that you grabbed. He came here by train.
Yeah, we might have a couple questions to ask, and then if that doesn't go well, he might go in the lake or something.
Do they have a car?
They might have a car.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, you can for sure find some car keys in one of their pockets.
All right, my friend, phone, keys, wallet.
Yeah, he begrudgingly hands them over. And even though you've got him restrained physically, it's Maeve that he's looking at because he's worried about the gun.
Yeah. Never leave home without him. That's good.
He's definitely going to be muttering something like, you don't know who you're messing with. Haven't you ever heard of Alexander Koschei?
And Maeve walks up. It's like, no, you don't know who you're messing with. You just attacked federal officers.
Do you want to try and convince him you are federal officers? Because that would be a deceive roll.
Yeah, I'll try that.
All right. So he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I think it's going to be pretty tough to convince this guy that the three of you are federal officers. Yeah, I think he's just not going to go for it. It's just going to be unless you want to. If you want to spend a fate point, bump it up somehow.
Or reroll.
Can I spend a fate point on what fools these mortals be?
Yeah. That's an excellent one. So that also gets you a box marked on the resistance timeline. Well, if you succeed on the roll, but if you get it to 3, then you'll succeed.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Got a little better. I got a 2 total.
All right. Do you want to? Yeah, that'll be a tie. So on a tie to overcome, what do you get? You can succeed at a minor cost. You're in a tough spot. The opponent gets a boost, or you suffer some harm. I'm not really sure how any of them make sense.
I'll spend another fate point to boost my
right.
turncoat changeling infiltrator. Yeah,
right.
it's just boosted by 2.
That definitely works. All right, so you get the box marked on the timeline, and you get you convince him that you're cops or FBI or whatever it is that you're trying to convince him of.
All right.
So I'm definitely the muscle. Go on, Shane.
And then he just says, "Well, I want a lawyer then."
We're off the grid.
We're off the grid, yeah. We don't do things by the book here. Let's take him back to our room, guys.
Sounds good.
Interrogate him.
We want to take him into the woods or something? Like, I guess we could, but I'm just worried more law enforcement shows up here.
Yeah, actually, the bartender probably called the cops. We should, I don't know, take their car and just run for it.
Okay. I'm going to grab my muffin, though. Never got a chance to eat that damn thing.
And is the plan to head to the woods?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
All right. So not long after you start driving, the phone that you took from this guy is going to start ringing. Do you answer it?
I don't trust my tongue with this.
I answer. Just hello.
A Russian accented voice says, "Dmitry."
Yes. I say, not hiding my voice at all or disguising.
Oh, I think you are not Dmitry. In that case, I think you have something that belongs to me. I won't insult your intelligence by asking who I'm speaking to, but somebody took a box that is very important to me, has a great deal of sentimental value, no value to anyone but me. I'd like that box returned to me. What do you say?
Sophia Onyani sends her regards, and then I hang up.
All right, nice. So your hostage continues to like babble about how you don't understand what you're getting yourselves into.
So what's the box? What? Tell me about the head.
Oh yeah, I haven't done that in character. Yeah, I think Maeve will just open up the box and pull out the head. Like, found this in the resort.
That will certainly silence your gangster hostage.
He can still hear us, but he can't talk. I've been doing 2 blinks for yes, and I guess 3 blinks for no.
You, Mr. Thug, do you recognize this head?
He's quite like overcome. He clearly hasn't seen anything so supernatural before.
Uh-huh.
He sort of stutters out that it's Maxim Solonic. It's the government witness who tried to testify against Koschei.
Oh, okay. That's helpful information. Thank you.
You're just starting to realize how fucked you are, aren't you?
Dr. C takes a bite of his muffin and then he quickly spits it out. Oh my God, this tastes like ass. And not in a good way.
Game.
And then he stares at his muffin and he thinks to himself, wait, I have an idea. What if we could make the gingerbread house taste horrible? Maybe that would create a vulnerability for Mr. Koschei in the future. We need an insurance policy. If we can't stop these little strange witchy creatures, maybe we can contaminate the gingerbread house somehow. Because this kind of gingerbread magic, I think, works on craving and desire. It must be delicious and yummy. If it's not yummy, then the magic can't set right. What do you think?
Well, the gingerbread.
Gingerbread, bad gingerbread.
Maeve,
when you were back there, were the baking supplies still out? The flour, the sugar?
Were they?
Yeah, I think you would have seen like there was a big pantry area. Like you think that's probably where they keep the sugar and flour and stuff like that.
Okay. I tell Dr. C. And hell, I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to make it taste awful.
It would have to be something. Those little guys didn't have mouths, so I don't think they're tasting the yummy gingerbread, but they might smell. We need something that makes it taste like shit, but doesn't smell bad. Maybe quinine. That's it. Quinine. Just a little bit in the sugar would make it taste bitter as hell.
You know, Dr. C, I always trust your wisdom, but just have to wonder at the likelihood of anyone actually eating the house.
No, it doesn't matter whether it's eaten. It must be delicious, or the magic won't set.
I see.
That's what I've read about, anyways. I don't know if I need to make a lore roll for that. I'm just kind of making this up.
There are tales all over.
I mean, I think that, so one thing you can spend a fate point for is to declare something to be true. I think this might be the sort of thing where you could do that.
Okay. I'm declaring this to be true. That the gingerbread must be yummy, or else the magic will be unstable.
I love it.
Oh, let me take a fate point off my character before I forget that.
So Maeve.
Oh,
go on.
I think in your latest travels to Equatorial Guinea, you were exposed to malaria, unfortunately. And I am going to write you a prescription right now for a quinine drug that you can fulfill at that little the little drugstore right there on the corner.
I don't have insurance.
I think we could pay for this out of pocket.
Yeah, we dined and dashed at the inn, so we've still got some.
We still have some. We're still flush.
All right, then I go get my quinine prescription.
How big can this prescription plausibly be? Like, we're talking about a large gingerbread construction.
I don't know. Quinine is very strong, and the drugs that the malaria version of it is pure. It's not like what you put in tonic water or something. Okay. It's bad shit.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Get a whole bunch of pills. I'll give him a big prescription. He's got a lot of malaria. Or she's got a lot of malaria. I'm sorry. Excuse my pronoun mistake.
And are you taking this guy to the woods to interrogate, or you're just going to leave him in the trunk of your car while you try and corrupt the baking supplies, or what's the plan?
We could feed him to the fish women.
Well, he doesn't. Actually, I mean, he probably doesn't know much. I mean, at least he's never doesn't seem to. We don't know if he knows anything about the supernatural, but he could still have some useful information.
I think we're probably here to dump him. But if anyone can think of any questions, by all means, pose them. I just have a feeling. What are we after, really? We want to know what we're interrupting. I mean, if his soul is preserved somewhere on an island, are we on an island? Then he will remain as powerful as he was in the future that you've never seen, and that's the thing we're here to avoid. Now we've already sparked something off between Baba Yaga and Koschei, with your words there, Maeve, potentially. And I think it's good we set them at each other's throats. If we could play a role in that, maybe meddle a little bit, weigh the odds, that'd be good for us. But if we're here to stop whatever this is from going on, that's what we should be focusing on. And I have my suspicions about what they're doing, but I don't know exactly, especially now that we know this is someone's head in that chest and not a duck inside of a dog.
Wait, quick question. The box that the head's in, is it the same box that we saw in the middle of the gingerbread house that night?
So
Last night?
you think that it may be, although it appears now as a cardboard box rather than an elaborate chest, but it was in the same position.
It was in the same position. Right. So why would he be building a gingerbread church around this man's head?
You poor hostage. I just imagine him, these are the last words to deliver here.
Mr. Head, Mr. Maxime.
Give him a knock first.
Knock, knock. Do you know something that can help us thwart Mr. Koschei?
Yes.
I think that it probably looks at you a little blankly. Not really sure how to answer that.
Huh. Another question. Is Baba Yaga just an epithet, or is she actually a witch? Well, let me say it this way. Is Baba Yaga actually a witch?
He blinks twice.
That's helpful information.
He blinks twice.
Means she won't go down easy.
Do you happen to know where the pelts of the Selkies are?
He blinks three times.
3 times, which means no, right?
Mhm.
All right, so that's not helpful, but at least we've got Baba Yaga. Well, we could leave this guy, the thug, tied up somewhere outside and just joyride his car.
I look over at Maeve like, are we leaving him tied up?
I'd like to try to get him into, flip on his boss, share some evidence, maybe give it to Baba Yaga, see if she'll help us bring him down.
She's got to have a team of lawyers. Any good witch would.
Witchy lawyers.
Yeah, if you want to play Inquisitor, I'll play Brute or whatever, but we don't have to.
Break his fingers.
Yeah, I'll check our lines and veils quick, but yeah, I'm happy to either just dispose of this guy or to try and wring something out of him.
I'll start talking to him. I guess once we've gotten to a isolated place in the woods,
we'll find a frosty glade and
Nice.
And Dr. C is like taking the pills that Maeve got, and he's like crushing them with a spoon in his lap, a plate.
Nice. Well, Maeve, do you want to roll to provoke? I think is probably the most appropriate skill, unless you want to suggest something else to convince him to talk.
I have a stunt that lets me use deceive in place of provoke to make mental attacks.
Ah, cool. So what's the lie?
We've been investigating Koschei for a long time. Clearly, he's into some dark stuff. I hold up the talking head, well, the living head, and like, listen, we're way off the books here, but we can let you go, you know, get you away from this new identity and everything, if you give us something useful on Koschei, that just everything you know about his organization, what he's doing here, all of that.
All right, so roll to deceive.
Ugh, got a 0. Oh,
He's got a 1.
I think I hit the button twice. But
No,
oh, wait.
I rolled
Okay.
the second time. So I think you got a 0 and then a 1. And then I got a 1. So he is not persuaded by your lie. Do you want to spend a fate point here?
Yeah, I'll spend my last fate point, I guess, on this.
You already spent 2?
Yes.
Can I spend 1 somehow to help? Or
Sorry, you know that the thing that we could do, I shouldn't make you go straight to fate points, is you can help him, you can help someone roll the dice if you have that skill. You can just give them a +1 to their roll. It doesn't cost anything.
I do not have deceive.
Dr. C?
Nope, I don't have any deceive.
All right, so and it's just gonna be Maeve.
Then I guess I'll spend my last point.
All right. So he sort of believes you. And I think he'll say like, you're okay, but you better take care of me because, well, you see what Koschei does to his enemies. What do you want to know?
Does he know anything about why Koschei set this place up?
Yeah, that's a good question. He'll probably like say so, like it'll be pretty garbled and confused. He'll say something about, you know, he really wants to do this like nice thing for people, but he also suggests it's like about money laundering. You know, it's a good place to dispose of bodies. Like he's clearly just like concocting anything that he thinks might satisfy you. He doesn't really seem to know.
Okay. I guess I'll ask if he's ever seen Koschei do anything supernatural.
No, he hasn't. He doesn't, you know, he doesn't deal directly with Koschei, or he's almost never seen him in person. It's always through an intermediary, that sort of thing.
And you've never seen a bunch of fur coats anywhere.
Well, I took some fur coats off a truck one time, but other than that.
I think Bear stumps up and says, what have your recent, what have you been tasked with before this? Like, what has Koschei been putting his people up to? Like, where's his focus been at?
Today he said we should drive around this area looking for a group of 4 people.
Not today. Is he planning a big move? Conflicts in the city?
Well, will he be able to tell you about that? He says no, like the family's been keeping a pretty low profile since the court case, the one that this guy, the head, gave evidence at.
I kind of look to the other two like this is a dead end.
And I guess he'll also say, like, look, if you want to talk, you want to know more about Koschei, why don't you just go find him? He's at the Plaza Hotel. He barely leaves.
Well, that's good information to know.
That point.
I don't think a frontal assault to his hotel room. How many bodyguards does he have?
I mean, at his home, I mean, I couldn't really
At the
say.
hotel?
Normally, when he's out in public, he's normally got 2 people with him at least.
Okay.
I think Bear walks away from him and says, well, that's all the questions I have. If you could find this man a new life identity, I think that'd be a lovely thing. Maeve?
Yeah, I think that's all my questions too.
I'm all through. Goes back to crunching tablets.
Shoot him.
Yeah, I think me and Dr. C just walk away with our backs turned, and we just see Maeve move in behind us with a gun.
Yeah, he doesn't look surprised when he sees you draw the gun.
He's in a nasty business.
Yeah. So what's the plan?
Oh, gosh.
Well, does anyone want to go with me to poison the sugar? I can go by myself. If you drop me off, I'll try to get in.
I have a feeling it'll be a little more heavily protected than it was now that there are known meddlers in his business, and we have what he wants. We do have what he wants. He told us it himself.
Why does he want this head so much? Is it valuable to us? It doesn't say much.
It must be part of a ritual. I just can't fathom why the chest at the center of the gingerbread house isn't his soul. It seems so natural to me. You're not the dog. You're not a duck inside a dog, are you? Disguised by some foul magic?
Blinks 3 times.
All right.
Do you know where Koschei hides his soul?
He blinks 3 times.
Oh God, you're useless.
What? Don't be rude to him.
Did he say what he was going to do with your head?
He blinks twice in the most unhappy way that you could possibly imagine.
Was he more specific than just I'm going to torture you, or did he say he needed it for something, or what? Yeah. I'm so bad at 20 questions.
I think he blinks 3 times for that.
Do you know where your body is?
He blinks twice.
Is it in this town?
He blinks 3 times.
Is it back in New York?
He blinks 3 times.
Is it in the woods, like nearby, but outside the town?
He's just saying no to all these questions.
What if we poison the gingerbread, then take the train back to the city, give the head to Baba Yaga, and wait, maybe monitor this place until the night that the house is supposed to be complete, be here when it is, and be ready to intervene however we might. I don't know. I'm thinking of ways to lessen his power, to interrupt his plans.
Good idea. Sabotage.
We don't have an obvious sense of exactly what they're doing, but we know it's going to culminate in something once the house is complete. And if we can disrupt that, it will be the best for us. And I have to imagine he'll be here when it is to be complete to oversee it happening. If Baba Yaga knows that, and if she has something important to him, the power balance is evened, because otherwise we know that she dies in a matter of days, maybe 1 now. So we've got to do something
and with no clear idea of what to do. I like poison the gingerbread. It just feels right to me. Something about it feels good.
It's important to him that the gingerbread is important to him, so poisoning it can't be bad.
And the gingerbread smelled good. You know, if it was just supposed to be whatever, flour, sawdust, you know, it wouldn't have smelled like that, but it smelled good. I wanted it.
That's the magic. That's the magic. We have
It was
to
tempting.
All right, let's go poison that gingerbread. Do we want to hide the head somewhere? Or just put it in the trunk? Although Koschei might be looking for this car.
Yeah, we did, you know, drive away with his people's car. So maybe we
A
should
nice
dump
car?
it. We should probably bury the bodies under the snow and then take the car and just dump it somewhere near town, and then get out, walk around, and then head to sneak past the construction workers. I guess we're pulling a daytime heist, maybe.
Yeah, it was just when you were there, Maeve, it was just construction workers. Did you see security?
I think it was just security at the time. Or sorry, just construction at the time.
We'll have to see if that's the case now that Koschei has lost a couple of thugs.
I mean, who would be crazy enough to go back in after they stole the head?
I think at this point we cut to a shot like looking down from your previous vantage point over the construction site, and you see that there are guards now. There are three small patrols, three groups of 2 security guards. They look to be holding some sort of automatic weapons.
Ooh, that's not so good.
Oh, my stealth is 1.
My stealth is 2.
Oh,
Are you stealthy, Maeve?
I think I've got 1, 2. Yeah, I've got 1
Yeah.
as well.
Dr. C is the stealthiest of you all.
oh, doctor, I can't risk you like that. Tiptoeing in to poison them. No.
I can use maybe a fate point too if I get a bad roll. And if one of you is with me, then maybe you could support my roll, right? Because you have a rank.
Yeah. Yeah, so if all 3 of you are together, then you'll roll stealth at +4.
There's a double help. Oh.
Well, yeah, everyone who has a rank in it, if there's some way they're contributing, can give you a +1.
Great.
What do you think? Go straight in stealthy or try to create a diversion and go in?
Probably go in stealthy. Diversions usually put people on alert no matter what.
Okay.
We just have to get there.
Shall we leave the head here?
Yeah. Well, but I guess the head is in a head-sized box, so it's not exactly easy to carry around. But if we have to make an escape in a different way, I guess we can always return. We leave the head like half a mile from the site, probably.
Someplace covered in leaves or something.
Yeah.
Poor head.
It's been through a lot already.
It's a beautiful view. Just
we'll be back. We'll be back for you. Just sit tight.
We're doing this for you. Okay, this is your legacy.
Yeah, let's try and sneak in. We're gonna time the patrols. I'm familiar with patrols movements and stuff.
Yeah.
Maeve's an infiltrator.
Yeah, Maeve, lead us.
Maybe take the lead and we'll follow you. I got the drugs.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the lead.
You've been here before already.
So roll at +4. And you notice as well, like the construction crew is much smaller than it was yesterday. It seems like most people have been sent away.
6.
Ooh. All right, let's see if the patrol can notice you. It doesn't look good for them at all. No, you get by them. You get inside the construction site. And just outside the door of the kitchen, you hear voices inside. And the same voice that you heard call you on the phone, on the goon's phone just before, says, "Well, come on, there's no way they'd be stupid enough to come back already. And let's take our first break here and find out what happens when we get back. So we'll come back in about 10 minutes.
We are stupid enough.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
All
right. All right. Are we all ready to continue? So you are crouched quietly outside the door to the kitchen, where you can hear Alexander Koschei, the infamously fey-aligned mob boss, talking to someone about how you would never be stupid enough to come back right now. What do you do?
It's good he doesn't know us very well. I think we should hide.
Yeah, speaking purely as a player, like it would be fun for Lowell to be here if we actually have to fight him. But you know, we got to do what we got to do. Yeah, I think we should hide, and if we see an opening, I think we should go for it. I was thinking, like, I don't know if he's going to be wielding Fey terror magics and stuff, or those would just be an incidental thing on his behalf. The protective charms stunt I took, I made it so that I can create an advantage with will using protective charms. I don't know if that is a way that you would use will, so maybe we can like talk about that. But I imagine like the things that I have on me that I've taken from my homeland are things that I can sort of use to create advantages to resist Fey magics and temptations and stuff. So if that's going to come into play, I'd like to be involved in that. But otherwise, I think we hide.
Hide.
And listen.
Hide inside or hide outside?
It's a big facility. It seems like we could hide inside.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
we're
if we
already
can
in
get
we're already past the perimeter, which the guards are outside, I think. So
Okay. So for sure, you definitely can find yourself a hiding spot. Like, do you want to go to one of the unfinished rooms, or like, do you want to like an eye line to the kitchen door? Like, what are you trying to set up here?
yeah, let's not go too far because we want to know when they leave the kitchen so that we can slip in. So a nearby room maybe with an eye line.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sure.
I can see us all huddled together behind a door.
Well, they'll
Snuggle up
definitely.
close to the bear.
It'll definitely be some time before anything happens. Like, are you happy to wait for an hour or more?
So he doesn't leave. He doesn't leave the kitchen.
That's right.
Do we hear voices? Are they talking over there?
I think that you've gone to hide, like you're pretty distant from the kitchen now. I don't think you can really make that out.
So is there any way we can eavesdrop on them without being caught?
Well, I bet there's some like vents or, air ducts. I don't know quite what the word is, some things that you can crawl around in the ceiling.
Let's try that.
Yeah, Slim
Dave,
Dr.
you're
C.
probably really good at that, right?
If this is stealth, I think we might be boosting you up there, Dr. C, if you're up for it. You're going to be alone with the dice, so.
I am kind of little, so yeah. All right, I'll crawl into a vent.
Yeah, okay. So I think that maybe, so you already rolled stealth. I don't want to make you just keep doing the same thing. I think maybe like a burglary check to crawl around quietly in there.
Ooh, that's bad. Can I
I was
use
thinking-
athletics instead?
Yeah, sure.
I think none of us have burglary.
I mean, we could send Maeve with her one burglary.
He has one burglary.
Are we power gaming?
In
for
my opinion,
giving it a
you're not.
shot.
You might be trying to.
Great.
Or sending me.
Pretty low power. No, if it's burglary, I mean, it makes sense for Maeve to do it. I just thought you had 2 stealth, so we sent you instead. I don't know.
As the only one with burglary, I can try it.
All right. Well, go ahead and roll burglary, and I'll roll a notice check for Koschei.
2.
Oh, you have no fate points left.
Oh, you're right.
Oh god.
And we can't help him. Oh, we don't have burglary anyway, so we can't help him.
That's right.
Oh no.
Let's see what Koschei rolls.
We're not power
Ooh, yay,
gaming.
Koschei got a 0.
Just rolled a 0. I wonder if this would be a good time for me to use a GM fate point.
Maybe.
I think that he won't. Like, I think that narratively he doesn't because he's quite caught up in what he's doing, which you can see through these, this little grill that you're looking down for. He's clearly performing some sort of magic ritual. He's lit some candles around him. He's chanting in a tongue that you don't understand. He has some sort of like grimoire, it looks like, before him. You don't see anyone else in the room, so you're not quite sure who he was speaking to before. But that is the scene before you. What are you going to do?
Good question. I didn't have a step 2.
Well, you've got a gun.
Remember, they call him the Deathless. That's what Dr. C whispers in Maeve's ear as Maeve gets into the vent.
I mean, you could try using your Fey eye to see if you can notice anyone else in there with him.
I'm out of fate points, though,
yeah, right.
so
That's right.
I think I will.
Can I invoke the Fey Eye? Or does that mean something bad happens?
Yeah, I don't think you can invoke. You can invoke someone else's aspect against them, but I don't think you can invoke someone's aspect to their benefit.
All right. Tempting, but I don't think I will.
Well,
is the gingerbread house?
Well, let me offer you something then, because I don't want you to just be trundling around with no fate points all day. Well, I guess offer is the wrong word because you don't have any fate points, so you can't decline or compel. I'm going to compel your aspect. The hounds have your scent. So the compel isn't like something is immediately going to attack you, but some sort of supernatural force here is going to detect you and start looking for you, and like sort of put you on a clock more than you were before. So
you can still refuse the compel, though.
Well, it costs a fate point to decline a compel.
Oh, it costs a fate point. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you just didn't get a fate point. Oh, okay.
No. So you take a fate point, but you feel that something is coming, something bad.
Okay.
You could maybe like try to notice more details, but that would probably welcome the hounds.
You do have a lot of notice.
No, if the hounds are after me, I'm gonna have to get out of here pretty quick. So I am just gonna take a shot at him. See, wait, no. First, I'm gonna line up a shot because I've got a stunt that gives me a bonus for that.
Nice. So tell me about the stunt.
Uncanny accuracy. Once per conflict, stack an additional free invoke on an advantage you've created to represent the time you take to aim or line up a shot.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I think create an advantage using notice, I guess, makes sense to me. Like, 'cause it's about observation.
Sounds good. I will roll that. 5.
All right. Let's see. Can he defend this? Probably not. He's just sitting there. So that will definitely, well, that'll get you a free invoke with an aspect with 2 free invokes on it. So you're going to call it in your sights?
Yes.
So, well, hang on. I'm going to come back to you in just a sec. So, Dr. C and Bear, what's happening? Like, does it feel like Maeve's been gone too long? Or, like, what's happening while she's just vanished into the vents?
Dr. C had fallen asleep on Bear's shoulder, waiting.
Yeah. I was so close to jumping to making out. Like, you're like, what's happening? And I so close. But yeah. I think this is our requisite sexual tension scene. And I think Bear whispers like, I love to let you sleep, but you just can't right now. You just can't.
Okay, I'm getting up now. It's so cozy here with you, Bear.
Don't get up. Don't get up. We have some time.
Where's
Maeve likes-
Maeve? How long did I sleep? Should she?
I'm not good with time, but she's having a look. Let's hope not too close of a look, or look through a scope like she seems to incline towards. We're just in a side room, right?
Yeah. And I think at this point, like, you hear a gunshot ring out as Maeve fires.
Holy shit.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought she was going to be stealthy.
Well, she was until she wasn't. Let's go.
Where are you going?
Uh,
Towards the kitchen or away from the kitchen?
It's got to be towards the kitchen to. I trust Maeve, but she's in the duct. You're not just gonna clamber out real quick. I think towards it.
All right.
Maybe towards the door. We can get on either side of the door. Anyone who comes through it, we hit them on the head.
All right, so you rush towards the kitchen with the intention of waiting outside the door there. So let's go back and see how good this shot was. Maeve, go ahead and roll your shot.
Make it count, Maeve. Hey.
All right, so I think there'll be no opposition to this because you had a chance to line it up. He's just going to let you hit him. You can, if you want, stack those 2 free invokes on your aspect and bring that up to a 7 points, 7 shifts of harm.
I would like to do that, yes.
That's great.
All right, so he will take the mild consequence shot. So like, let's say flesh wound or something, like he's shot, but it's not too bad because you've chewed up all of his stress. He's into his consequences. That means he has the aspect flesh wound with a free invoke that you can, or that any of you really can use. But I guess we'll treat this like a conflict now. So Maeve, you've taken the first action. The others are outside the door. You can pass the initiative to them. You can pass the initiative to Koschei, or if you want, you can pass the initiative to his invisible fairy servant who you haven't noticed yet. And the goons are probably on their way now that they've heard gunshots, so they're available as well.
Let's give it to Koschei first. I want to see how he reacts, and that'll give us, we can line up our actions.
All right. Bold play. I like it. So let's see. Koschei will turn towards you and unleash some sort of blast of eldritch magic in the direction of the vents. He knows where the bullet came from. So he will attack. I'm just going to roll his attack, and then I think it would be athletics for you to defend. Okay, that's a 6 to attack. Oh, you don't have athletics?
No, I don't.
All right, so that would be 8 shifts of harm. Do you want to spend your 1 fate point to reduce that to 6?
Yeah, and I guess I'll take a moderate consequence too. Ouch.
So, sorry, just jumping around my tabs. How many stress can you take?
3.
All right, and then, okay. So, what are you going to call your moderate consequence? Because that's like an aspect that you have to deal with.
Scorched or something.
Yes. You will also mark 1 enchantment, which is another effect of his magic.
Oh, that's not good.
It's not great.
All right.
And then he will shout something like, Musadora, in the vent. And Musadora will use her turn to, sorry, I'm just updating my aspects, create an advantage for herself, which she will do by creating an advantage using stealth by making sure she's completely hidden. So that is I think the opposition is probably just your notice. Do you want to just roll notice to see how well that works for it?
Sure.
Two.
All right, so she succeeds. She gets 1 free invoke, and she will have to pass the initiative. Let's see. She'll pass it to Dr. C. You can hear that. Oh, sorry, you're muted. You can hear that there's like some shit going on in there now.
Shit going on down there. And I'm just quickly reading the aspects because a bunch of them came up that that weren't on there before. Immortal sorcerer always has a plan, and he has 2 invokes on it. Impossibly vain. Invisible fairy servant, Musadora, bound to obey. Okay. Just some goons. All right. Sorry.
It's all right.
Well, we have to get the heat off of Maeve because she's in trouble. So I'm thinking Mr. C swings the door open, pokes his head in, and he is going to yell at Koschei, "We're out here, you ugly fuck." And I don't know if he somehow senses that that Koschei is impossibly vain, and maybe this is a provoke attack.
Do you want to create an advantage, or do you want to try and deal some harm?
So any harm that I would deal to him would be on his mental track, right?
That's right.
But if it overwhelms his mental track, then it would.
Then he'll take consequences because he does have some consequences he can take.
Yeah, he's already taken a mild one, right? Yeah, right. Okay. I think I'm gonna create an advantage.
All right.
On him.
So he will defend with will, but go ahead and roll.
Okay, so I'm using my stunt here, which is disturbingly insightful. So it allows me to use empathy instead of provoke when I'm trying to piss somebody off.
Nice.
All right, gotta find the dice room again. Ugly fuck.
Yes, that psychiatric training really allowing you to like find the sore spot.
Let's see if it works.
Ooh.
Oh, shoosh. That was bad. I got -2. I think I'm going to.
Well, let me roll the opposition first, and then you can decide.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, that makes sense.
He has quite a high will, so all right, there you go.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to match that. So I guess I take a failure on that.
All right, so you don't manage to create an aspect, but you've certainly got his attention. And do you want to pass the initiative to? I think the goons haven't arrived yet. Goons won't get a go in this round, so passing the initiative either to. Oh, well, it's just Bear left, isn't it?
Bear, yeah.
Does Musadora take a turn?
Musadora used her turn to create her advantage by being invisible.
Got it. Okay. I think we need to run. and
So-
fast.
You can, so one thing you can do is concede. So if you decide on your turn not to roll dice, you can concede, which means you get a fate point for conceding. You get out, okay, you decide the terms on which you lose, but you do lose something. Like you can't, there's going to be some advantage that's conveyed to Koschei if that happens.
All right. Knowing that, I think we try to take out his fairy servant. I would like to pull a bell out of my pouch, a small bell, and start ringing it and step into the room and I think grab a handful of salt out of my pouch and toss it at the place where Musadora went invisible. And I say, no hiding from me, you slippery thing. And I would like to, I guess, I'm trying to either create an advantage.
Well, I think it's more like you're trying to overcome, like you're trying to get rid of her advantage, right?
Yes, yes.
What skill do you think works for this? I mean, athletics maybe seems logical. You're because it's about throwing something.
Yeah, I kind of, this is like kind of the thing that I got will for, is to overcome like the powers of the Fae, but I don't know if will mostly applies to like the temptation and fear based stuff. I don't know if I can use it for this, but I'm intending to invoke like the charms that I have and the fairy knowledge that I have to
Okay.
overcome.
Yeah, I think will tends to be more defensive. I think law would probably be more like using it offensively to overcome.
That makes
Oh.
sense.
Okay. If that, yeah, the skill allows you to use Fey magic, which I'm sort of doing. It's like Fey counter magic. So yeah, I'll roll +3. That's a 1.
She's going to defend. What is her? Oh, so she hits a 5. Yeah.
They're rolling +5s to everything. We gotta get the fuck out of here. I was thinking we take something from him. Like if we can't kill him, if he's deathless, taking his fairy servant would be a big blow, right? But like, I don't know, guys.
Like there's a magic book lying on the ground. I mean, I'm not sure what else really is set up in this scene.
Okay.
But it's Bear, you can pass the initiative to whoever you'd like here.
I guess I'll pass to Maeve. We need like a big move one way or the other. I think we got to create an advantage to leave, or we got to go make a big attack. I think so.
I have an idea.
Oh, then I could pass to you.
Yeah, actually, if you want to pass it to, I mean, I'm not sure what to do. So if you want to go first, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's do Dr. C. We're busting in the room. We're doing stuff. Maeve just took a big hit, so I think this is cool.
Okay, I think what Dr. C is gonna do is when he sees Bear throw all the salt onto the ground, I think Dr. C remembers something about these invisible fairy servants, and he's going to try to create an advantage on, what's her name?
Musadora.
Musadora. I think it's create an advantage. It might be an attack. No, I think it's create an advantage using lore, I think.
So what are you trying to do?
I'm going to say, oh goodness, so many little grains. I wonder how many there are. Because I think she's going to have to get down on her hands and knees and count every grain of salt.
Oh, interesting. Well, yeah, roll your attack. I guess she'll defend with will, which is not as strong as her stealth.
So let's see. I'm just seeing. Okay, yeah. So it's a lore roll. Let's see. Count count them all.
All
6.
right. Let's see if she can, how she does here. All right.
Dr. C.
So she is definitely going to spend a fate point to bring that up to a tie, invoking her bound to obey aspect, which requires her to obey Koschei, not this random interloper. For a tie, what do you get for? I think you can get a boost for a tie on create an advantage, or you can try and invoke an aspect to beat her outright.
If I beat her outright, what do I get exactly? I get
You get an aspect with a free invoke.
okay.
Whereas the boost, I mean, the boost is an aspect with a free invoke, but it can only be used once.
Yeah, I'm just trying to buy us time to run. I guess I'll spend a fate point, I guess, on my high concept, attuned to the supernatural.
Yeah. And what is the aspect that you're going to create? Time to get out of here.
Time to get out of here. Yeah. Maybe that would be the best one.
All right. So yeah, Musadora will. Well, I guess you won't perceive anything happening in particular, but you feel that you've bought yourselves a little time. What will you do with the initiative?
I guess then I'll pass it to Maeve.
I'm thinking about just like yielding and running for it. But I'd also like to shoot the spell book, just because, I mean, if he wants it, put poles in it. And I'm wondering if how big of a defeat does running away yielding have to be? Can we just be like take an extra consequence or something, or how would that work?
I mean, it's probably more likely to be a narrative consequence. Like, you know, I mean, what I was thinking is that if you concede, he knows who you are now and he'll be able to find you. Or I'm open to negotiating around that if there's another suggestion that any of you have for what might be a consequence that makes sense. If you want to just try and run away without conceding, I'm happy for one of you to make an athletics check that the rest of you help with. And there is, there's a aspect with a free invoke on it to help with that. So if you want to try and flee without conceding, that's also an option.
Hit the book.
I mean, you could also, sorry, go ahead.
You can go.
I won't keep making suggestions.
Okay, what do people think? Should we just run now, or should I? Actually, no. I'm the only one who hasn't gone this turn. I don't want to like leave you all.
Dr. C's taken 2 turns, and me and you both have only taken 1. So if you pass to me, I can make the athletics check with your help, or with at least Dr. C's help. If you want to shoot the book, you can. I think that's cool. Just unload the clip.
You could also try and like create an advantage like suppressive fire or something, like try and kind of pin Koschei down so you have that extra invoke on running away.
Like, part of me is like, we already dealt him a consequence. Like, you did a huge attack once. You know?
Yeah.
If we can give him another. Should be hurting. Shane grins like, hey.
I'm out of fate points again, but screw it. I'll take a shot at the book. I don't know what kind of role that would be, but I'm just trying to destroy the book so he can't use it.
Yeah, I think it'll be an overcome action. Using shoot. I think passive opposition, like, it's going to be pretty hard to hit. So I think a passive opposition of 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't make that shot then. Yeah, I'll just do covering fire then. Try to make an advantage.
Okay.
5.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll do it. So cover fire as an aspect with a free invoke on it, and then you want to pass the initiative to Bear.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's see that athletics check if that's what we're doing.
So we've got covering fire and time to get out of here, both with free invokes.
I mean, just roll it without the invokes first, and then see if you need to use them.
Cool.
Because it's going to be contested by Koschei's athletics check to catch you.
Cool. So I'm rolling 2. Do I have 1 from Dr. C's help? Or
Yeah, just
4?
1 from Dr. C.
Okay.
Finally, we get the big rolls.
Nice. Let's see.
I've been rolling like crazy. I like.
All right, that is a success with style on your overcome action. So you do you want to describe that? Like you burst out of there running, the 3 of you. What happens?
Yeah. So, I think I burst in the room with my charms, try to assault the fairy. As soon as she avoids it, I go, curses, and then all of a sudden, like more gunshots come down from the fence. I'm like, ugh! And then I just turn, and Dr. C is like trying to command the fairy to get on the ground and count, and she actually obeys, and I'm like, did you do that? No time. And I just like basically push him out of the room, out of Koschei's grasp, and I think we try to slam the door behind us, and maybe like I slam the door so hard that it like breaks off and like maybe catches him and knocks him back into the room or something, and I think we just sprint down the hall. I guess maybe are you climbing back through the vent, or do you jump out after us?
I think I'm just like crawling out after you, just running for it to like meet you in the hallway and just book it with you.
Cool. So maybe like Koschei's like just reaching out, and you're barely escaping the room, and we just slam the door on him, and then I drop more salt behind me in front of the doorway, and we mad dash to escape the goons.
Yeah, the goons like firing everywhere, bullets all around you as you get away. You're on foot again, right? Like you dumped that car. Are you going to try and steal a construction worker's car? Like, what are you running on foot into the woods? Where are you going from here?
I think we have to go on foot in the woods back to the head. We have to get back soon.
Our head.
Poison the gingerbread. No, it was good. It was good.
It's a good idea. I didn't think about the opposition.
Fate was cruel to us today. Yeah, I guess we're like Bear's like using his climbing skills to like get back up to the hill where we left the head. But yeah, I guess we're running through the woods.
All right. The goons are shooting at you, but they're generic movie goons. The bullets are just going everywhere. Just enough to stress you a little, but not enough to really hurt you. When you get back to where you left the head, you see the claw marks of some sort of large dog or something like that have dug out the spot where you left the head. Maeve, the claw marks look very familiar to you.
It's the hounds. Fey hounds have the head.
Someone gets a point for this fate point for this fuckery, right? Just kidding. Curses. Can you track them? They certainly can track you.
I mean, who's got Whispers of the Wild? I feel like tracking dogs is
your business.
More in your wheelhouse.
Bear lets like a full bear growl into the forest, and it like echoes. Yeah. Great. Let's add more ticks to the Fairy Queen's clock.
Well, rolling just by itself doesn't add anything to her clock. Just if you need to invoke your aspect or enchantment or anything like that.
Got it.
What skill would you use for tracking? Maybe notice? I'm not really just thinking about it.
Yeah, there's no general survival skill. It's probably notice. I think I'm gonna move my will around because next session does something else. But Um, yeah, we can do notice. Maybe Maeve can help me. I mean, if I'm not invoking, or I guess fate, Maeve has no fate points. Yeah, sure, I'll do it with Maeve's help.
All right.
Well, maybe Maeve should do it with your help.
Right, I was just,
Well,
and I guess
it's-
invoking a fate point would just get us even if it's 3 plus 4. So you're probably right. Then we wouldn't have to spend
Well,
the resource.
I mean, the difference is that Matt's in a better position to spend a fate point afterwards to invoke aspects, if that's what you need to do. Like your aspects are more directly relevant.
But invoke would get me just +2, right?
Well, yeah, but you've got the aspect King of the Beasts, which I think is like one that would obviously apply to tracking. That was my thinking.
Right. I guess the other thinking, like I'm getting 1+1 dice for the help, or 1+1 bonus, and Maeve would be getting 3+1,
Yeah,
which
right.
is 4, which is
Okay.
already
Yes.
the equivalent
see
to
what you mean.
aspect. So I like the flavor of that, but I think it's cool. And maybe if Maeve is like reverse tracking her own hounds, that sounds badass to me.
Sure, I'll
And
give it a
I
shot.
can help. And I can help.
All right.
So it's +4 total.
Mhm.
Got a 2.
I'll make a stealth roll for the hounds.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that's a 3. So let's see. I think that can be a success with a complication. Yeah. Choose whether the action fails or you succeed at a serious cost. I mean, I think the serious cost must be that you know where the hounds have gone. They've gone back to Koschei, right? Or you can just choose to fail and not know where the hounds are. In which case, maybe they didn't go back to Koschei.
Let's just say, let's put all of our eggs in one basket and say they went back to.
All right. Well, it hasn't been a roaring success of an afternoon for the resistance.
Radium's gonna have wars with us.
She
Should
knows
we
we're useless without her.
should we get on a train? I think we gotta go
Probably.
back. What were you saying, Maeve?
I think that just leaving is a good idea. I was agreeing with you.
I think we're in hot water, and the old witch might have something for us. It would have been nice if we had a tribute to bring, but you know, sometimes heads get up and walk away on their own, I guess. Because we don't have anything for her now, right? Like, I guess we have a little bit of information that she probably already has. You gotta have something to trade with these fairies.
Yeah, you gotta make bargains.
Well, yeah, I guess like if the hounds didn't go to Koschei, I could talk to the other animals and try to like then follow them more, but I think we lost it. So let's go try to make friends, I guess. Maybe we can leverage some of our future knowledge somehow and get her to trust us.
Try to charm the witch.
So I guess we're gonna try to catch the train and get the hell out of here. We didn't catch any sign while we were in there of the gingerbread construction, right? We were in a different place.
So the gingerbread construction seems to only be visible at night. It vanishes during the day.
Got it. And do we have the impression that we have like one day or maybe more than one day?
At least a couple of days before it's finished.
Okay. I like the sound of New York.
A strategic retreat to New York.
All right. So back in New York, well, let's see if Maeve can start to recover her consequence.
Scorched, right?
So you clear all stress at the end of the scene. So anyone who took stress, I think that's just Maeve. That's gone now. Consequences require attention or treatment, which is a successful overcome action and time to recover. So if someone else wants to try and treat your scorch wounds. Was it a mild or a major consequence? Mild.
It was moderate.
Moderate. That's sorry. My notes have the wrong name for the consequences. A moderate consequence is a 4 difficulty overcome roll.
I could try.
Using academics, I think.
Yeah. So that's a 1. Let's see. Let's see what I get. That's a 1.
So you need to bring that up to a 4. Need to increase it by 3. So you could use two fate points.
I only have 1 left. And
you can invoke 2 aspects.
And we don't have any free invokes left because we've left the scene, so all the scene aspects are gone, right?
Yeah, I mean, if there's any that still make sense to use to help you here, that would be okay.
No.
Actually, let me offer you a compel then, so you have another fate point if you want to use it. I think I would like to invoke, sorry, to compel. Let's see. Sorry. I think that I'm going to compel strange twists of fate, and the compel is that you realize something about the magic that Koschei was doing that you hadn't noticed before. Something that will complicate your life. Yeah.
Just great.
Will you take a fate point for that?
Sure.
So the magic that Koschei was sort of weaving, the ritual he was performing, somehow in some kind of way it involved your consciousness, your mind, maybe even your soul.
Mine meaning Dr. C's.
Yours meaning Dr. C's.
Yeah. Shit. Okay. That doesn't sound good at all, but
so it's up to you whether you want to use your newfound fate point to help with maybe scorch issues.
So if I use both of my fate points, then I could.
Well, I mean, you've got to tell us what aspects you're creating
and I need
or
2
using
different aspects to work from, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Bear could create an advantage that would be helpful here some way.
This is for the medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if there's something I can do to like hasten the healing of fey-inflicted injuries.
Like some sort of balm or poultice that you can make out of your protective charms.
Yeah. I think like rowan berries, red verbena, something like that.
All right.
Would this be lore?
Yeah, I reckon. All right. So what do you want to, so yeah, let's just say that there's an aspect, healing herbs or something like that Dr. C can invoke for free.
Okay, so I'll invoke that, and I guess I could use my high concept as a psychiatrist. I have medical knowledge because I went to med school. So I guess I can invoke that one and pay 1 fate point. So that would bring me up to, what was it?
that'll bring you up to a 5, I believe. And yeah, that will be enough to start Maeve recovering. So after the recovery action, you can rewrite the consequences relevant. So the example it gives is from gunshot wound to bandaged arm. So how do you want to describe the aspect that you have now?
Bandage burns.
Cool. And it says it takes 1 full session after the recovery action for it to be completed. So you still have that consequence until the end of the next session.
Oh, okay.
Or let's say the end of this session. I don't know what and takes 1 full session means.
1 full session.
All right. And so, like, we're probably pretty close to our break, but do you want to just talk a little bit more about your train ride back to New York?
Lots of recriminations. I thought it was a good idea.
I mean, it was. There was some kind of logic at play.
We were trying to be stealthy.
But really, we had the golden ticket and we set it down in the woods.
I had a chance. The hounds were after me. I had to do something and I messed up. Sorry.
Well, next time when we strike hard and we don't turn. But maybe we should have. But we're here now. Well, we're nowhere now. I suppose we try to arrange a meeting when we're in New York, but if we don't have any obvious contacts other than some goon's phone number.
You want to arrange a meeting with Baba Yaga or with Koschei?
Well, I don't even know if it's pressing at this point. I was thinking when we had the head, we'd bring it to Baba Yaga as, tribute and as a way to even the odds a little bit. Because Koschei is after us. He's he's on high alert. He really wants to complete whatever this thing that he's building is. And if that provides a vulnerability. So that is information. We do know the inner workings. We do know some of the witchy details. So I'm sure that is a way for us to potentially get an audience with Baba Yaga, or at least one of her high ups. But we have to somehow convince them that we have information worth knowing without them just beating it out of us. We have to come strong.
I mean, you also know that Koschei has a room at the Plaza Hotel that he's not in right now. If that's information that you want to use somehow.
Oh, that's back in New York. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff.
Well, we could try to break into the hotel and see if we can get some info that we could trade to Baba Yaga.
And some leverage, yeah. Something to prove that we are contending with him on the same level that she is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's try another burglary.
But we don't have our burglar with us.
All right. Well, let's take a break here and we'll come back in about 5 and we'll see how you go breaking into the hotel.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So, everyone good to continue?
Mhm.
Well, you arrive back in New York. You have a chance to regroup a little bit, to think about what you want to do. You were thinking of trying to break into the Plaza Hotel. That's going to have to happen pretty quickly if you want to try and do it before Koschei may get back from the Catskills himself. What's the plan?
I've done tons of break-ins in my day. Just scale the walls, tap the windows, quick in and quick out. So that's how it goes, right?
You mean scale the building?
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit of a high rise,
Mm-hmm,
the plaza,
So
if
used
I
to, right?
recall. Maeve, you have infiltrator capacities. How can we get in there quietly?
Well,
Poses the help?
wait, it's a hotel, right?
Yes, it's a hotel.
Could we just walk in like we're customers?
Yes.
Yeah, you only need the key at the door itself, right?
Mhm.
But all we know that he has a room, so we need to figure out which room is his. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to roll overcome using maybe, is there contacts a skill? Something like that to see if you can figure it out.
The goon didn't tell us what the room was, right? Just that was at the hotel.
Yeah. But there's plenty of, I mean, Maeve has some like low level mob connections, maybe.
I don't have any context skill, I think. But
None of us have contacts.
I mean, you can still roll it, still give it a try.
all right, I'll give it a shot.
Well, I have fate points, although I don't know what contacts I would have. Is the contacts implying that like we would find out from somebody else, or is this like?
I mean, you can roll contacts to see if like the cockroaches can tell you, I guess.
Can I roll rapport with the cockroach?
I think this is more of a contacts roll.
What if
Yeah.
what if I go up and try to charm the front desk clerk with a story?
Give
but
that a try.
That would be a deceive, right? Or would it be a rapport?
I think deceive, unless you want to tell him the truth. I don't know what version of the truth you would tell him, but
Maeve, you're more deceptive than I am. You could approach the front desk clerk and maybe say that we have a package for Mr. Koschei, but then they'll want us to leave it there.
There's got to be a trick here.
It's got to be a trick here, something sneaky.
We could just say like we're here to retrieve something from Mr. Koschei and just do the bluff like we're his mob people and scare them. Because they probably know who he is and they're probably scared of him.
That's a good one.
But that's provoke.
yeah, I think so.
Which
I mean, I can provoke with deceit, so I can give that a shot.
Oh, and I can provoke with empathy. But you're deceiving, so let's do it your way.
I think deceiving makes more sense.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
so you have to look
So
tough.
you're just like, we're here to see Mr. Koschei. Which room is he in?
No, we're
Is
here
that
to
the-
retrieve. We're here to retrieve something from his.
Yeah.
His room.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll to deceive.
Got a 2.
All right. So that'll be a tie. Let's see. What do you get on a tie to overcome? Succeeded a minor cost. You're in a tough spot. The opponent gets a boost. I mean, it seems to me that what that suggests is that they will tell you where to go, but you're going to come out on his floor and see 2 armed guards outside his door.
Okay.
Okay with that? All right. Well, then that's the scene. You come out of the elevator, and these 2 armed guards standing at the front of the door. They just look at you, quite unimpressed, quite impassive.
Before the elevator doors open, Shanad says,
If we can do this without gunshots, we could try.
Oh, the door's open.
So it's
I
a
think-
hallway, and there are rooms on
Yeah.
either side. So it's not like it's just the Koschei's room.
Yeah.
So we could be going to another room down a different hallway. Maybe we just do a pass by.
Well, no, I think that what you realize is that this is his floor. Like the reason he can have 2 guards stationed in the hall is because nobody is getting off here. Unless they're here to see him.
Got it.
May I ask you what your business is here?
Oh, did we push 13? We pushed 13, right?
I told you 13's a bad luck number to push.
I think our luck's turning around for some reason.
I'll need the guy in the balls.
All right. Well, roll an attack. With
All
fire.
right, cool. Let me roll this fight here.
Oh, I don't think he could possibly compete with that.
Not many can.
No, it's over.
He's 100% taken out. One of the all-time savage knees to the balls.
Yay, bear!
One falls to the ground.
Ooh,
Dr.
I
C
felt
just
that
looks
one.
at Bear like, you are my man.
The other guard, however, is bringing his gun up to shoot. Who do you pass the initiative to?
If I passed him, maybe she's just gonna shoot him.
I have a
Which is-
knife.
You do. Just kidding. Yeah, I'll pass to Maeve. Let's see some crazy stuff.
I attack with my knife.
Mhm.
So 4.
That's probably enough to. Oh my god!
They're drunk, right?
They're
The,
drunk. They were drinking on the job.
the dice have really turned around since you got back to New York City.
New York is lucky for us.
So yeah, you like
Jeanette said it.
you stab him, you gut him, you like threaten him to make him drop his weapon. Like, what do you do?
I think I just like stab him in the somewhere important, throat, liver, somewhere.
All right. So he slumps to the ground. What do you do? I mean, one or both of them have a like swipe card for the hotel room door.
Yeah.
Pull him into the room. Try not to get blood everywhere.
So it's a large, very impressive, finely appointed hotel room. There are a couple more guards inside. They look up at you as you come in, and you see seated in the middle of the room, has like kind of a fine silver dining setting just in front of him, is Koschei once more. Should not be possible for him to have gotten back here faster than you did. He's wearing a plush red velvet dressing gown over a nice button-up shirt, and he's cutting himself some poached eggs on toast. And he says that he did not expect to see you again today.
Likewise.
I would prefer that nobody gets shot in this exchange.
You're still feeling that from earlier,
Is that what you'd like to think?
I'd like to, yeah.
Dr. C kicks Bear in the shin. Like, whoa.
I do want to make you an offer. I am surprised that I don't know who you work for, but I admit that I don't. Whoever it is, I am more powerful, more generous, and more dangerous than them. And so, if there's something that you want, I'm in a position to make that happen. He just continues to slice his eggs. What do you want?
What we want is something we can't imagine that you'd readily give.
What's that?
A soul or two, 3, all of them.
Souls are cheap in New York City. I'm sure you know that.
Is that how you're getting around like this? Jumping from soul to soul, something like that.
Just keep some bodies around. It's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
You, and he looks at Maeve, said something about Baba Yaga.
I did, yes.
Did we tell him we want her dead? I don't have deceive. I want to lie, but I don't have any deceive.
So
Okay, I'll level with you. We're not working for Baba Yaga. Other servants of the Fey Queen sent us to knock you off.
He thinks about, oh, yeah, okay, he'll think about that. Go ahead and roll to save.
Oh, let's convince him to bring her down. Yeah, right.
4.
Or
Right. I'm just going to roll to see if that will persuade him. Oh, yeah. That is a success with style for you. So you get a boost. What do you want to call your boost? Like a name for that aspect? Maybe just he bought it, like something like that, to indicate that you've kind of.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So you've got 1 free invoke on it, but after that it's gone. So I started a new tab called Plaza Hotel for this thing.
So Dr. C, I think, is trying to read Koschei as best he can to figure out what are his intentions towards us. Is he just toying with us to kill us, or does he actually want something from us, or or anything I can gather from him?
Yeah, so that sounds like probably empathy to me. Like roll to overcome with empathy.
Okay. All right. It's 2.
Let's see how he does. Oh, the dice truly have turned. This is outrageous.
New York. Yay.
His motivation. He genuinely wants to figure out like who you are and why you're doing this. He's not accustomed to strangers interfering in his work. Like there are enemies he's looking out for. He's trying to work out if you're among them or who you are or what your role is. And he is sincere about being willing to negotiate if that's appropriate. That's what you think, if that's possible. So, sorry, Maeve, you told him that you'd been sent by another agent of the Faerie Queen to kill him. Is that right?
Yes.
I'll say, that's exactly what I was afraid of. Who was it?
Well, we know him as the Owlhead Devil.
Amazing. What will they think of that? How fascinating. He nods, he takes that in.
We could be convinced to forget our contract on you.
The reason we are even able to say his name is we are very skilled negotiators.
I think this is really stretching the boundaries of credulity. Yeah. Why would the Owl's Head Devil hire the three of you?
That's above our pay grade. We
The
don't
owl
actually
sees
know.
many things, one of which is the future. He knows what you become. He has told us a few things of the power you someday possess. I'm trying to play on his vainness, his
Yeah,
vanity.
yeah. I think he would be tempted by that. Well, tell me more about this future.
I think Shanad does a bit of storytelling, and it's like the truth. And like maybe if in the TV show we see like some flashbacks of like the destruction wrought by Koschei, by the Deathless, and we see like cities in ruin. We see his fortress. We see like the fortress he built to protect his soul and thing. And I think Shanad kind of gets lost in it a little bit, and he's meaning it to be sort of a deceptive thing, and he knows how to play the Fae in some ways. Like he's sparred with them verbally quite a bit, but I think he gets kind of lost in reverie a little bit. Like I think he's taken back to a time that he is trying to forget.
And Koschei seems genuinely moved by what you're saying. Almost like a tear comes to his eye, and he says, "And will I be reunited with her?"
Now that's information worth trading for.
How do I know that what you're saying is true?
Can I make a lore roll to add details to the story that are true details of the future that someone who'd only seen his plans play out might know?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So I think, yeah, I mean, you probably like stuck in a free invoke there onto the he bought it aspect. It says, all right, I am interested in these facts about the future you claim to possess. What would I do for you in exchange? What has the Owl's Head Devil promised you?
We need resources here.
It's less what he promised us and more that he promised to spare us. But if you have any kind of weapon that would work on him, I mean, any way we could defeat him?
Well, I can protect you from him. I can keep you safe here. I'm not especially familiar with the devil, but his reach does not extend to my territory.
Look at the other two. Like, what do you think?
His reach extends beyond the bounds you might imagine.
Shanaz's just in bullshit mode while he tries to think of what you want. So the goal is to prevent him from singularly rising to power. So promising us something that diminishes his power in some way or divides him up and makes him more vulnerable is what we ideally want to get out of this. Mm-hmm. Or something that makes us more powerful in order so we can go straight to Baba Yaga and work with her to then turn back on Koschei. So he won't give us a weapon, a fairy killing weapon to walk away with, I don't think. I can't imagine he wants us to walk away at all. And with all this talking aloud, I still don't know what to ask for. This is the way things work for me, but what I want to ask him to help us bring down Baba Yaga. But I just don't know if we've already soiled this possibility. Like I think a temporary alliance or something. Like maybe all the owl wants is like an opportunity. So one or the other, no big deal, no skin off his back. The deal could be altered.
The owl wants to make a move into New York City.
Yeah, and he wanted us to start at the top with the most powerful to leave the biggest vacuum, but we've seen how powerful Koschei is. We did our darndest, and our bullets didn't do the job. So
We are humbled.
We are humbled
Before your greatness, Koschei.
and I grumble about it.
All
I'll
right.
let him know.
And then if I kill this Baba Yaga for you, then you and your patron will tell me what you know of my future.
You will have a personal scrying session with the owl as a form of introduction.
It will take me some time to do what you say.
Well, the thing is, we must be involved. It must be done by our hands, or the owl will know.
Well, then tell me more specifically what you need from me. What is my role? I can arrange a place to meet with Baba Yaga where you might deal your blow. Would that be suitable?
Sounds suitable.
What? Do you prefer a public place, somewhere quiet?
Somewhere relatively quiet. But somewhere where we might be without notice, without too much notice.
Yeah, I mean, he's receptive. Like, are you imagining like a cafe, a quiet bar, a restaurant, maybe that's closed, something like that?
I was thinking something seedier, like a drug den or a casino or something. Like Baba Yaga is big on the drug trade. Maybe he doesn't maybe he doesn't want to be on her turf kind of thing, but something scenic.
Like the high stakes card game that the two of them play in regularly for only the highest rollers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can get you in. You would have to either be high rollers and he looks at you with the most extreme skepticism, or we bring in our own security, our own chefs, etc., our own catering. If you would like to come in under that pretext, that might work better.
Little column A, little column B. We know a fierce player.
No, Fadine will probably want to be security. Honestly, that's kind of her thing. But I just am imagining her at the cards table, and Lowell comes back. We're like, we have news for you. I really like that, honestly. I don't know what skill it would be. She doesn't have any deceive, so I can't imagine that's a good idea. Maeve, you know how to handle yourself at a table, right? I mean, agent.
Yes, I can do that.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking, just to step out of character for a bit. Let's say that this game gets scheduled for 2 nights from now, and it will happen at the same time or around the same time that you expect the gingerbread church construction will be finished. So that will divide your resources a little, but it also gives you some time to sort of set things up to create advantages, things like that, that you might want to use in those scenes. And then the goal will be to wrap up this event and move on after that pair of scenes. Does that sound good?
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Koschei will say, very well. I would like to finish my breakfast. My man will give you my number if you need to contact me. Do not say anything over the phone. This should not be said over the phone. I'm sure you understand this. And I will see you at the appointed time.
Shanad is puzzled that there is no handshake or no formal sign of binding. I think I guess he's holding the security card with a hole in his gut. Yeah, here's your man. I'll take that. Yeah, is it like a card? Does it show
Like a business card?
Does it have anything that would like denote that it came from him? I can't imagine.
I mean, it's. I just flash back to the scene in American Psycho where they all exchange their incredibly elaborate business cards. It's like it's finely made. It has the vibe of being a Russian mobster's like authentic, expensive business card. Does that is that sufficient?
Yeah, I'm just thinking it'd be nice to walk away from this meeting with something that can prove that we made a deal with him if we do go to Baba Yaga, or if we do want to prove that somehow. So if that would do something along those lines, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty convincing token of having met him personally.
Great.
Shanad, you also certainly can smell those seal pelts in here.
Oh,
okay.
We never gave back the key cards. If we want to get back in at some point, we have some keys to his hotel room. Maybe if he doesn't change the locks.
Doesn't change the locks.
Is there? I can just smell them and I can't see them, right?
You can tell they're in one of the other rooms. They're not in the room that you're in now. Like one of the bedrooms or something like that leads off from the lounge room that you're in.
Is there any way that when I go, can I like go to dump the man's body in the center of the room and try to get in a place where I could get a look in the room?
Sure.
Can I make like a rapport roll to be like chatting with him kind of amiably, so he's not like caught off by me taking a few steps in the room?
Like there's no way that you can walk into the bedroom without him like noticing that that's what you're doing. But you can certainly like position yourself where you can see that there's like a sort of large like trunk or steamer or something like that, and you're sure that that's where he's keeping them.
Okay, in a trunk. Is he making his own dog? No. Okay, I think I set the body down and I take a long look and a sniff. At some point, I'd like to make a lore roll to like maybe recall any stories that would have something like this in them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think you can just recall that Selkie stories famously are about like seal women whose the removal of their skin kind of traps them in a humanoid form.
So it's about the trapping, and there isn't anything specifically to do with the skins necessarily that I would know of.
If we get the skins back to them, then they're freed.
Yeah.
All right. Another heist.
So, I mean, what I'm tempted to do here is just ask you all what you do over the next couple of days to get ready for, to deal with the gingerbread church construction, or to prepare for the meeting with Koschei and Baba Yaga. Or is it the intention actually to secretly go and speak to Baba Yaga ahead of this meeting somehow? Some nodding from Maeve.
I like it.
I mean, I think we want to give Baba Yaga a heads up. Like, I mean, we have pretty good evidence that Koschei is like going to kill her at that poker game. So, I mean,
Wait,
give her a warning.
isn't your evidence that you're going to kill her at that poker
Yeah,
game?
we're going to kill her at the poker game. Yeah.
We know that Koschei told us that he was planning to have her killed at the poker game. That's what we should focus on.
More deception, Maeve. Yeah, I like the idea. Like, theoretically, if we just go up under the total pretenses that we're there to kill her and flip the tables on Koschei in the moment, like Baba Yaga will be very caught off guard, but she might still be able to help us. Or is it she's so hopelessly outmatched that she needs to be told in advance to have like reserves on hand and do preparations in order to have a chance to take him down? Do we know that she's way out of his league, or is it just that he has the upper hand on her?
I mean, I don't know that you necessarily know either of those things.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, it seems like we should speak to Baba Yaga ahead of time and tip her off on the things that we know, because the timeline that we're trying to interrupt is the death of Baba Yaga, right? And the ascension of Koschei. So if we need to give Baba Yaga an advantage here.
Yeah, I think we should. It just totally opens up for the possibility for Koschei to know somehow, and I think that's just a good story. So
He'll find out.
the double cross.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Dr. C is going to hit the lore to try to find out a way of communicating with Baba Yaga surreptitiously, um, or attracting her attention,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you do have a phone number that Fadim
Mhm.
found that will at least get you like information into her network. So not to speak to her directly, but to sort of produce information that will get back to her.
Yeah.
Are you wanting a more direct line to her?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure whether there's a magical way or some kind of a direct line to getting her attention. To Yeah. So what is she into? I know she eats babies. I mean, we could of course do that. So I'm trying to figure out what is a way, what is something that we could do that might get her attention focused on us in a way that would get her talking to us. But I
Kind
don't
of
know if that's
two-way
something.
scrying ritual, or like some
Mhm.
kind of like if she's an obvious like magical power source in New York City, and we have a vague idea of where she is, you could be able to attune to her in another realm if you're really in the occult lore books or something. That sounds like some big fairy magic, but that is what lore is for.
I mean, I think that like, if you want to do something magically, maybe Bear can use his contact with the animals to get a message, like to, engage Baba Yaga that way.
All right.
I like that. Send a raven.
Send a
Yeah.
raven, send the rats, whatever it might be.
Yeah, we are in New York City. I feel like we should send rats.
Yeah, I remember stories of animals living in Baba Yaga's hut. I can't
Yeah.
remember what they are exactly. A hedge pig, maybe? uh, maybe a rat will work.
A very plump rat.
Very plump rat, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Dr. C can
mouse.
help me
Yeah.
put a message in the Dr. C, you let me know how you can like help in this in like an extra layer of magic. Like I can basically talk to the rat and like kind of make a social role to kind of convince the rat of something. But if we want to like maybe protect the message or protect the rat or
Mhm.
do
So
something else.
the way I see this is that you're making an overcome action using lore to try and get the message to her, and you
Mhm.
are going to need to use your enchantment stunt to get this to work. And just to be clear, that does mean that you'll be marking enchantment, and that will put the Queen's timeline over to her first ripple. But it will also advance your goals, which will get you closer to your first ripple.
So it's
Like,
that.
we haven't used an enchanted aspect today.
No, but I used 2 last time. So it's that, or it's play phone tag, or it's like get ourselves captured by her people and then somehow convince them to take us to her or something.
Oh, what if I used, I don't know if this is a context or what this is. I remember one of my patients was talking a lot about Baba Yaga and claimed to have a personal relationship with Baba Yaga. So I don't know if that's a context role or a lore, or I don't know what it would be exactly, but find a way for them. That's what he said. He said that Baba Yaga was visiting him in dreams.
So like book another session with this patient.
Yeah, and I know where he is in Bellevue. He's still institutionalized. If there's a way I could get a message to Baba Yaga through that patient and his dreams.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably using academics, because you're trying to like use your connection with him as a psychiatrist to be able to channel something through his dreams. Does that make sense to you?
Sure. Academics, yeah. I just got a 1 in academics, but I could try.
Are you gonna get him like sleeping in the session, like kind of put him out?
Or I could hypnotize him in the session. And maybe put a hypnotic suggestion in his dreams that he's going to say something to Baba Yaga when he sees her next.
I love this idea.
Huh?
I do feel that I have to warn you that Baba Yaga has like pretty strong defenses against being found. So I want this to work, but it's going to be a tougher one. But yeah, go ahead and roll for it.
Oh, but so what skill could I use for this?
I would think academics, like you're using your ability as a psychiatrist.
Would empathy work then if it was?
Yeah. Sure, why not?
Yeah. Does
Could
anyone have empathy?
Could I help? Yeah, could I be like your assistant or something? Like there to help get this person to sleep, like I'm massaging them or something?
Yeah.
Don't just say
you
like,
come in as a body worker, yeah.
Yeah, can you just bring in like random assistants to Bellevue?
Sure.
I think that maybe Shanad needs to roll to deceive or stealth or something to get in there for this to work.
Ooh,
Actually, can I roll rapport to try to convince one of my colleagues that this new special folklore bodywork approach to dream analysis is going to help this patient?
Yeah, why not?
I'm a Jungian.
He's a Jungian. All right, let's give it a shot here. So the first thing is, I guess it's create an advantage or
just overcome.
It's an overcome. Okay. My special body worker. Let's see. Oh, that didn't work. I rolled really poorly.
Do you want to use do you want to spend a fate point here?
What's my target?
I think the target is 2.
2.
So
even 1 fate point wouldn't put me over.
Well, you could use the fate point to re-roll and hope that you can at least roll a 0 on the dice.
Can I help with rapport if he's rapporting? Can this be like a shared appointment kind of thing?
You can.
I put a word in?
Yep.
Does that just add 1 to the roll?
Yeah, so that'll bring the total up to 0. So you could spend spend a fate point to use an aspect to bring that up to a tie, or you could try re-rolling and see if you can get an outright success.
What did I roll? I rolled a -3. That's really bad.
Yeah, it's hard not to roll better than that.
It's hard not to roll.
I don't want to jinx it, but
gee, thanks. 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm still here. Go for it.
So the fate point either way is it's either +2 or it's reroll all the dice. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Okay. So if my help and a +2 guarantees it to get to 2, is that all we need? Because reroll.
That's all
That's
we
a
need.
that's a tie, so that will get you to a success at a minor cost,
Got it.
where you're in a tough spot, your opponent gets a boost, or you suffer some harm. Alternately, you can fail but take a boost on the tie.
Well, maybe, I mean, if I can't convince my colleague, then I'll just go in and try the hypnosis myself. Because it would only give us 1 point, right, to have you with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to save our fate points. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
if
we're going
you
to
could-
refresh.
Yeah, you're going to refresh in about 17 minutes of
In
maximum of
17
real
minutes.
world time.
Oh, okay. Well, so I might as well use my last fate point on this
But
one.
if you
Yeah.
use your last fate point on the actual empathy roll, that's a +2.
That's a +2. Okay.
Instead of my +1.
All right. So
Alright.
it didn't work. My colleague was like, "No way, you're sending that fucking person, crazy man in there
So I
to
go away
touch any of our."
grumbling.
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Like
will
your
the
boss
insurance
came by
company
at
say?
just the worst possible time. And all right, but I just want to let's go. But we'll come back to you in just a sec. Maeve, what are you doing while this is going on, or over the next couple of days?
Oops.
I guess trying to round up guns, weapons, explosives.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to roll to create an advantage using resources?
I'll give it a shot. Just a 1.
All right. So, I mean, you start doing some legwork. You're going to have to use the resources roll in one of the other sessions to produce that stuff in the moment. So you're not getting any free invokes on it, but you definitely make some connections. You've at least got a shot at having the things that you need as you need them. And Bear, when you're rejected from Bellevue, what do you just like wait for Dr. C, or is there something else that you want to do?
I go grumbling about the institution and these damn traditionalists in some other accent. What else do I do? I think knowledge of the future, the Fae, and the reality warping magic they bring. I want to find the local Irish Storytelling Society in New York, and I want to go to a meetup.
Is that a euphemism for an Irish pub?
Oh, hey, they're one and the same, baby. Yes, absolutely. So there's a bit of there's a trad jam, and I think Bear plays the boron, so he's got like a big skin drum and he's just like chugging along. And I think after a while there's a circle and he does some tale telling, and I think he tells a love story between a man and one of the fair folk. And I think he's in his cups and he's emotional, and I think he's reminiscing on his the love that he should never have given into, but I think it's the one bit of temptation that he fell to, and it hurt him the most. So I think he's crying a little at the end of the story, and then I think I want to just listen and use all the stories that are washing over me to prompt any further leg ups we can get in this meeting between two powerful Fae beings. And I've used a lot of my the stuff I had with me, the charms, like some of the things I will have, but the consumable resources, like maybe it's easy to get salt, but like some of the flowers and things like that I don't have a lot of. So maybe I'm like trying to pick up on some stuff I could have on me to protect us from Koschei.
Okay. So I reckon roll to create an advantage using law, probably with a difficulty of 4. Like it's pretty hard knowledge to come by.
Cool. Yeah. And this could also be like weaknesses of fairies. Like I'm just trying to remember like ways to strike at them, other than just protection as well. So let's roll lower. That's a
Ooh.
3.
So do I want to spend a fate point and invoke an aspect?
Yes, I do. I'll invoke Head Full of Grandma's Tales.
Yeah.
And,
Could I have helped him with that, or I'm otherwise occupied?
You're otherwise occupied at the moment.
Yeah, I think I needed some time without Dr. C so I could truly tell this tale and do it justice without holding back.
All right.
And yeah.
And so you create an advantage. Do you want to call it like fairy weaknesses or protective charms? Like, what do you want to call that?
Yeah, something like fairy weaknesses. Yeah, faults of the Fae or something. I don't know. I'll have a thought.
All right. I've just popped that into the Plaza Hotel scene, which I'll rename it before next session, I guess.
Okay.
All right. And then Dr. C. So you go in to see this patient. Is your vision here that you just like tell him something that you want him to pass on to Baba Yaga, or are you trying to like be folded into his dream somehow? Like what actually happens here?
So what I'm going to do is a dream incubation. So what happens is I'm in the session with him. I've hypnotized him before. So I'm going to hypnotize him, and then I'm going to implant a hypnotic suggestion that when he sees Baba Yaga in his dreams tonight, he will invite her to come to Washington Square Park at midday to learn something important of a life or death, of the life or death importance for her.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead and roll with empathy.
Where's that place?
Oh,
6.
that will be enough. I think you feel that you've been, yeah. Like, do you want to describe how you do this exactly?
Yeah, so I'm hypnotizing him, taking him under, and I'm describing because when he describes in the past, when he's described his dreams of Baba Yaga, they've always taken place in like a dark forest, creepy forest, and so I'm describing the creepy forest to him, bringing him back to that, and saying how you can feel that Baba Yaga will be coming very soon, and you feel compelled to warn her that there's danger to her, and that if she comes to Washington Square Park at midday, she will be tipped off to what that danger is.
Interesting. All right. I think that's where we'll finish up for this week.
I have a quick question.
Oh, sure.
So when we compel our fellow players, that is to give them fate points at the cost of 1 to us?
Yeah, that's right. But it has to complicate their situation in some way. Like
Okay.
the compel can't just be a benefit to them.
And we do refresh at the top of next session.
That's right.
So I couldn't, for example, compel Sleeping Beauty right now and have Dr. C also fall asleep into this dream to give him a bonus fate point at the start of the next session, could I?
Well, that I don't think so, unless, I mean, if that would bring Dr. C above his, which it doesn't. If he already was at 3 fate points, you could bump him up to 4 fate points and that would carry over. But at this point, it's not going to work.
Just love the thought of the hypnotizer also falling asleep and encountering like horrific witch nightmares. That's all right.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for next session.
That's right.
When Dr. C will fall asleep.
Yeah, I'll just do it right off the top next time, right? That'll get you to 4.
Sounds great. All right. Well, if everyone's cool, I'll stop the recording and then we'll do a quick stars and wishes.